Alright, next up is do, dick, do, dick. Let's start with the circle first and then drop down. This one is quite similar to Georgian, right? Let's go back to Georgian for a second. So Georgian is like this. You see that? And then you make the you drag the line go all over to the other side. Georgian is actually clockwise too, like this, like Dodek basically, yeah. Dodek also clockwise, like go clockwise like this, the direction. However, Georgian will be straight line like this. Dodek will tilt, right? You have to kind of like tilt to the left here, and then go all the way to the other side. So that's the key, okay? Alright, I'm gonna write Georgian again because these two are quite close. Yeah, Georgian drop down like Q, right? Q, and then go up all the way there. Dodek will be like Q too, but you have to tilt it to the left, and then go all the way to the other side. Yeah, that's Dodek. Not very neat, my version. Okay, Dodekนะคะ. Dodek represents the close to D sound, but maybe half voice. D sound in English is quite voice. Voice, what I mean by voice. Voice means when you say it, the vocal cord vibrates. D, d, d. You can touch your vocal cord here. You can feel the buzz. D, d. Or when you can try, use your two hands, place on your ears and say d, d, d. You're going to feel the buzz in your ears. So that's called a voice sound. And Dodek in Thai is a voice sound too, but it's not as a voice as the D sound in English, yeah? Okay, dek, yeah, the first component, da, is the sound, da. And dek means baby or child. Dek can also means dek can also mean lover too, lover, and also can means my like staff or employee. Da, dek, D sound, d, d. Let's compare the word dog, English dog, right? Voice d, d, dog. Thai version will be dog. You can hear, right? That is like much less voice here. Okay, let's carry on to tao. Tao, it's like dodek, just the same thing as dodek, but you want to make an indentation here. One of my friends could then see it as the heart here, and one of my students see it as a bum crack. You don't have to make it pointy like that. You can make it pretty round like this, no problem. Like curve, I mean. Yeah. Tao. The name of the consonant means tortoise, yeah. Tao can mean turtle or tortoise, but I think in Thailand we have tortoise, not turtle. Okay, the sound of tao นะคะ the closest sound, pretty close, I think, is the T in the word stand. So because T in general, right, when you say it is t, aspirated, there's air coming out when you say t here. And when you put S stops the aspiration, just like what S does to K sound, what I just explained earlier. So stand, you're not going to say that, right? So stand. The tongue, though, is actually going to be relaxed in the middle when you say it. Stand. But if you have a Thai person say this word, stand, you're going to, if you can see their tongue a little bit, it's going to kind of push towards the front. That's tao. So stand, there's no tongue, you can see there. Stand and stand. Tao. Yeah. So the key here is you can use the sound in the word stand for now. You can try to place your tongue behind your front teeth. Touch behind the front teeth, yeah. Tao. Yeah. Alright. Next up is ball by mai นะคะ Ball is the first component, it's the sound ball, And ใบไม้ is the name of the consonant. ใบไม้ has two syllables right here. ใบไม้ means leaf, yeah, leaf. บอใบไม้ บอใบไม้ just want to point out this tiny line here doesn't make any difference. You don't need that. It's just the font thing. You can just remove the line. Yeah, you don't need the little line like this. Yeah, you don't need it. So บอใบไม้ looks like U. Looks like square actually. Yeah. Maybe square, but not without that part. Yeah. บอใบไม้นะคะ บอใบไม้ sound is b sound. So half voice as b sound in English. Like, let's give you a word, boy. 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 Yeah, boy. B, b. Quiet voice, yeah. B, 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 b. Your vocal cord vibrates. Boy. Boy. So Thai บอใบไม้ would be boy. Boy. Yeah, quite soft. Boy. Okay. Carry on to ปอปลา ปอปลา is pretty much the extended line version of บอใบไม้ here. So very easy. ปอปลานะคะ Transliteration, the romanization is really confusing. Put B and P together. I would just not get into that. ปอปลา sound is unaspirated. There's no air coming out. Papa is often mistaken with the P sound, yeah, for Thai learners. So, for example, the word to go, ไป a lot of people say ไป like P, right? The difference between P sound and Popla sound is P is aspirated, there's air coming out. P, P, Peter, Peter. Popla, on the other hand, there's no air coming out. Peter, Peter, that's the Thai version of Peter, yeah. Peter. So there's a little trick here for you can do. You try to like place your lips really close, tightly together. But it can help, I think. Try that. But. Or you can try with the word spy. When you put S before P, it helps stop the air coming out or aspiration. So it comes out at B sound, like very close to Popla sound in Thai. Spy, right? Instead of spy, spy, yeah. Spy, yeah. Spy. So that's Popla sound in Thai. If you want to practice this sound and you cannot really do Popla properly, try to add S in every word. For example, the word buy to go. If you cannot say it clearly like buy, you can try to add S there and say spy. Spy for noun, yeah, and then remove S later and just pronounce bye. Okay? I hope that helps. By the way, the line like this, same, yeah? It doesn't matter. You don't need to have it. Yeah, it's just a font thing. ปลา means fish นะคะ ปอปลา yeah, ปลา is fish. Last consonant for today is ang. Okay, ang means basin. Ang. And ang, that doesn't sound like a consonant sound, right? Because there's no consonant sound in the names. It starts with a vowel sound here. So this one we call silent letter or placeholder. I'm going to explain a little bit more why we need this letter even though it's silent, okay, in the next session. Now let's write ang together first. Start with the circle. It's like P. Start with the P, yeah? Counterclockwise and then drop down like P. Go on your right. Go all the way on the other side here. This one also very similar to Georgian. I want to point it out. So a lot of my students write ang like this, like wrong. So it looks like Georgian here. So the key is, maybe you remember as P. Georgian will be Q, okay? And Georgian is not really the correct version. Georgian, we actually have less space at the bottom here. Yeah, it's like pretty much like a pointy one here. You can do like a curved version, no problem. But you can see that the space here over here, it's smaller, right, than this part, yeah, of ang. You can remember it as there's more space in the basin than in the plate. Not sure if that helps, but I think it has helped a lot of my students remember and distinguish between ang and jajan. So that's it, guys. That's it for today. Let's recap what we have learned today. We have learned that there are 3 consonant classes in Thai: middle class, low class, high class, and we have learned the very first 7 consonants in middle class. MC is middle class, by the way. And those consonant sounds, so the consonants that we have learned in this session, there are 7 forms and 7 sounds. Actually, there are 9 consonants in middle class, but what we have learned today cover all the 7 sounds. There are only 7 sounds in middle class and represented by 9 consonants. That means the other 2 consonants that we haven't learned yet, they actually repeated sounds of the consonants that we learned today, which is dodek and tao. Okay? Again, there are 9 consonants in middle class, but only 7 consonant sounds. And we have learned all the sounds already. The other 2 consonants that we haven't learned yet, they resemble the sounds of dodek and tao. Yeah, we have learned gao gai, jao jan, dodek, tao, bo bei mai, po pla, and ang. And there are the other 2 consonants. I'm not going to tell you yet what those are. They resemble the sound of dodek and tao. Yeah, so basically we have learned all the sounds, but not all the consonants yet. And the reason is we're going to use these consonants and go over 5 tones in the next session. And these 2 consonants, they never take any tone marks, and they only probably have only 1 tone. There's no reason why we need to learn them together with this. It's not necessary because you're not going to see them with any tone marks. So I think it's okay to learn them later. Okay? All right, so that wraps up our session today. I hope you enjoy and learn something, and I see you in the next session.